What? No. Ah! It's back.
Oh, let's go to Dr. Brisky.
In total, Valentin, you're going to take 3 damage. Sorry about the quick crash, guys. The new PC's coming in soon, guys.
And the other one?
Yep, let's see for the half ogre, and now your AC's back to normal for this attack, right?
No, it's for until my next round.
From the parry? Oh well,
No,
nat 20.
The parry reduces damage. Oh boy. I might die here.
Let me just make sure we're back. Chat, can you hear me? Can you see me? Are you here? Are you close? Are you here? Close? All right, good. Incoming Valentin.
Are you close?
I like the answer no.
29 damage into Valentin. So,
well, at least now they don't have attacks of opportunity to take when Sir Buckethead tries to get away.
As Valentin rushes past the half-ogre and the full ogre, he deflects the tree trunk-sized great club with the metal part of his gun sliding underneath and finding it pretty cool, only to get clotheslined by a battle axe the size of his entire body. He goes flying through the air and then lands on the ground, quickly scrambling back to his feet. Just counting his lucky stars, he hasn't been cleaved entirely in half, and only partially so.
I was going to attack, but instead I am going to pop open my potion of healing and use it.
Cry. Crying is a free action. As we discussed in Last Stand.
Let's see, where do I roll for the potion of healing? Is it on the potion of healing?
You have to equip it. So in your inventory, make sure it's equipped, and then you should see it pop up in your actions tab.
Oh, right. Okay. So I guess I need to target myself.
Yes. As this whole turn is going on, I'm just thinking about how funny it's going to be if one of the other Jackalwares puts Sir Buckethead back to sleep.
Fine.
I've already written up my new character, River. It's fine.
Just don't look at them, Lamau.
Yeah, that's my turn. Whoops.
Alright, Lloyd, now they're targeting you.
Well, I sacrificed myself for Sir Buckethead, but I think we're both going to die.
I sacrificed myself so we can both die.
Yep, this will really go well for making our case about staging a war against another country.
I don't need to look at things that cast Fireball, just a general direction.
Just point with your ass.
Lloyd, if you're the one that ends up killing me, I'm going to be really annoyed.
You resist one of the Jackalwares' sleep gazes.
But what about the straight
Valentin,
gaze?
toggle on advantage, as the last Jackalware is going to try to get you with it. Oops, didn't mean to do that twice. It's on? Alright, excellent. You resist. Serario, you're up.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna see if I remember how to do it when you were discussing it with Undyne or DD about drawing the circle. I'm on the drawing thing.
No.
Right?
No. Not on drawing. So you're gonna right click and you're gonna go down to the bottom where it says like exit drawing mode. Okay? And then you're gonna go right click and you're gonna look in the top left where it says pointers, and then there's a button that says draw circle. Also, you also have black, Valentin and Buckethead also, and Lloyd and Zandra all have black for their colors too.
Love it.
So I'm not going to be able to tell between any of you whose pointers are down. So please, guys, do
lucky for
change up
you,
your
I
colors.
have no AoE. It's not me.
It does help for pointers and stuff too, because your pointers do show up in your color. So please do change them. Where do you want it? So Serario right there is where you put it?
Yeah, and then you select all of them, right?
Yeah, that'll hit everyone but the ogre where that is.
God, hold on. I pressed the button on my mouse for it to move very fast, and I'm just moving across the entire screen. Okay, there we go.
So everything but the half ogre, okay?
Yeesh. Attempting to click it all. Okay, I think I clicked all of them and then hit save, right?
Yes, ma'am. You're becoming a natural at this.
I was listening.
And roll your damage.
Okay.
I'm
Woof!
going to
Just
change my
about
color.
everything in that bubble is dead, as there's another big blast as the gnolls, who didn't roll high enough on initiative to be able to get out of the way in time, are getting splattered.
We love it. We
Damn! Sheesh!
I like the jackal where they got insta-deathed. There was no hope.
There was no hope. Insta-death means that it don't.
Damage exceeds hit points by 25.
Right.
Christ!
that one jackalware is like at the center of the Barbenheimer bomb. He just puts his arms back and lets it consume him. As always, when the jackalwares die, they revert back to their original form, which is that of ordinary desert jackals.
That still
Oh,
surprisingly
boy.
look a lot like Valent.
Lloyd,
I still
Just a
don't know how
barbecue
to
version of him.
change my color up here. Oh well.
you go to the options. So
Okay,
you go to the gear, you go to options, and then if you look at the top, per user, there's color active character.
There we go.
How do I move the circle?
There should be a white box in the center of the circle.
I found it.
And you click that and drag it about.
Oh, there we go. Finally,
Dragging
it was
a
like
boot?
disappearing as I got to like the center. Okay, I'm
Lloyd,
gonna move it.
what are
Don't
you
worry.
doing, Lloyd?
Don't worry.
Yeah!
I needed to pan in the screen.
Hit me!
Just hit them all, it's fine.
Look, I mean, I could get the ogre if I really wanted to.
He is. I mean, he's going to kill both Sir Buckethead and me. I think
There
that'll
we
be-
go.
Yeah, that hits all of them except for the ogre.
Yep, and
Yeah,
it will not
definitely.
hit any ally.
Yep.
Per my rules of 2 corners, Zandra only has 1 corner covered by the fireball, and therefore is not affected.
But as this jackal dies in front of me, I'm sure gonna be sucking his life.
And we're saving.
Give it a good suck.
Alright, roll the
He's gonna
damage.
get sucked.
Doesn't have to be a target you kill, I
Good
forget.
suckies.
You're right. I do have to. Well, let me double check.
Well, the jackalwares aren't a threat anymore.
Oh yeah, when I reduce a creature. Yep. Nope. Not me.
Alright, Lloyd.
That is turn. Where did the combat there we go.
Buckethead, you must be feeling pretty pissed right about now. I mean, it almost feels like the DM was targeting you at this point. But
Almost
regardless,
like God hates you.
Told you.
Yeah.
either way, you're pretty angry. You get up, you're dusting yourself off, pushing the dirt and crap out of your body, and maybe it's time to do your very first.
Let's see if this actually works.
No, come on, I'm queuing you up here. Your very first.
Rage.
Wow.
Give me a battle cry, Sly!
Dude, I'm in an apartment. No.
Come on, at least, come on.
He has a lot
Canonically,
of.
Buckethead rage is like rage.
It's very.
This is how I express my anger.
I don't
Very-
even technically have a mouth normally,
You can just
so...
see like the slime of him start to boil.
Whenever a creature hits you with an attack roll before his age ends, he takes 1d6 force damage as magic lashes out in retribution.
Wow, that would have been great. Would have got hit.
Yeah, that
twice.
would have been great earlier.
Remember to targeting someone, no such thing. Exactly. Thank you, Somni. I'm glad that you know that I would never target anybody.
So, it wastes an action getting up from prone, right?
No, it's just
No,
using
half
half your
movement.
movement.
Half my movement, so I can still attack. Right? Right?
Yeah.
Yep. You've only
Yeah.
used half your movement.
Yep. Wait, what?
I don't know. What? Sly?
No, apparently when I got added to the combat tracker, it took my weapons off. River, what'd you do?
Nothing. You have to. Are they equipped?
No, they're equipped in the inventory. They're just not on the action screen, so I'm just going to
No,
re-equip
they're all
it real
carried
quick.
right now.
No,
I'm looking
My
at them. It
Warhammers?
says that they're all carried.
not
And
in
your
my inventory.
Warhammer's
They're
there.
not.
Your Warhammer's there.
Now it is. It wasn't a second ago. I had to re-toggle it back to equipped, even
I
though
think
it was
he's
equipped already.
gaslighting us. I'm going to target him more often.
Look, you know what? You know what?
Love you,
Attack
Sly.
You
That's what it
know
looks
what?
like on my screen, you dingleberry.
Attack God.
Attack God.
God in his anus. But make sure you use lube first, just so we consider it.
It's
That
a
fucking
natural 20! Sly's vengeance arc begins.
Oh god, I love this for you.
Sly,
Ooh.
how do you take out the half ogre?
As I'm getting up
Angrily.
from my prone position, I swing my warhammer into the top of his head as hard as I can. And just out of spite and not giving you flavor.
There's enough flavor. That's all I
I want
was thinking of good flavor. I'm thinking that because you are you're just ooze, right? Like you can kind of do whatever. You don't
Yeah.
like stand up like a normal person where like, you know, you like get on your hands or knees and like stand up. You just kind of like form into a ball and then you like reform into a standing person.
I still have one more attack, don't I?
Yes. Yes, you do.
needed. Carry on, Sly.
Why do you sound so sad?
That one I missed.
Dunk against his big ass feety.
You can move out of his range safely.
But
He's
then
right.
I wouldn't be able to attack. And I'm angry.
Well,
He's
you,
angry.
you can still fucking attack. You can
You're
just-
assuming intelligence, Valentin.
Love
It's Angie time.
Love that Valentin took those 2 attacks of opportunity for no reason.
I mean, I
This is
honestly
a
should.
consistent thing where Valentin tries to save us and we're just too stupid or stubborn to accept it.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I bother anymore.
Buckethead, I need you to end your turn or move.
There.
Sandra, you're up, and now there's
Zandra will move up. So, if I'm understanding correctly, I not only get an extra action, but then I can use
No.
my what?
Let me explain how it works.
An
When
extra,
you
sorry,
take-
not an extra attack, an action, but like when I make an attack action, I get an extra attack on top of that.
Yes.
Sorry, it's not a whole nother action. It's just when I make one attack, I get another.
Yes.
And then,
You get
and
your-
then I can use a key point to do my monk weapon attack and attack again with the sword. So 3 sword attacks, is that correct?
Yes.
Cool.
Or if you flurry of blows, a total of 4 attacks, as you do 2 unarmed, 2 regular weapon attacks.
Yeah, I think I'll do that because I don't think this guy's immune to damage. So I'll do 2 short sword attacks. Well, let me target him. Wait. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
That'll hit. 7 points.
Ah! No.
With a nat 1, as you go to swing, you kind of get tangled up, and your blade is in an awkward position. You won't be able to use an extra attack on the blade now, but you can still make your 2 unarmed if you spend that key point. Just can't make it with a weapon
I'll
attack.
spend the key point.
Okay. That's it. Beating the living tar out of him. Whack, 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 whack. Anything else, Sandra?
Nope, that's it.
Didi.
Okay. Do I want to do this old-fashioned way? Well, I'm actually within, like, melee range, so it might be kind of cool to get to do this, because I haven't gotten to lately. Let me look. Alright, so I get to attack twice using my Priest of Zeal ability. Number of times equal to my Wisdom modifier, so this is my first of... Is it plus... Isn't it? No, my Wisdom's not plus 6. My first of 3 for the day.
Go ahead, give him a whack.
I am going to whack him twice.
Whack him twice.
With my big, juicy fucking stick.
Oh my god, give me that big juicy stick.
Oh, my stick is so big! Hang on. I believe... Okay, I have a... Wait. In addition to that... Okay, if I have 2 bonus actions, can I cast 2 bonus actions if I don't move?
You only have 1 bonus action.
Ow, okay, never mind. I was like, I can attack twice and my weapon can be on fire. Nope! You can't have your cake and eat it too, and that's the saddest thing in this life. I'm going to do the murder thing. Hopefully, my battle axe. Pew!
That's a hit.
I hit him, and I do the damage. I'm spending too much time around my cat, and by too much time, I mean just enough.
You're baby talking everything, including this ogre.
Boy. I know.
Okay, second attack.
Okay.
Isn't this so much better than Fog's Undying? Roll damage. Alright.
God damn it. Why him still alive? I hit him so good. Okay. Well, that didn't work. Yep.
Okay, the ogre, rather than using his weapon, is going to make a shove attack against Lloyd to knock him 30 feet off that tower.
Lord have mercy.
Lloyd have mercy?
Yeah, Lloyd have mercy.
Well, it didn't roll very high. Neither did Lloyd, thankfully. So Lloyd, as it's swinging around trying to stomp on the people, almost as an afterthought, you're hit by a big backhand, and you are pushed 5 feet. Whee! And it is 3d6 damage. You do get a chance to roll an athletics or acrobatics to try to catch yourself, and if you have Featherfall, you can always cancel this as a reaction.
It doesn't sound like a damaging spell.
You piece of shit. You son of a bitch. You're still waiting for someone to make an animation completely out of context voice clips from my games. It'd be pretty great. And, like, this game is the best to get it from, too. You gracefully use your face to absorb the entirety of the fall. Taking 9 fall damage as you land prone on the ground.
That's a good thing I didn't have mage armor on that might have broken concentration.
Mage armor doesn't have concentration, you dingus. Valentin. Is that why you didn't take mage armor? You thought it had concentration, so if you get hit, it goes away?
No, I didn't take it because then I just didn't even bother reading it.
God damn it! You disgust me!
Wow.
People
how
like
big
you
is this rock?
should be illegal. Why?
I mean...
That's a trick, by the way, DMing trick right there. Anytime your players ask you anything specific, why should be your answer. Why, Valentin? Why do you need to know that rock's dimensions?
I would like to sit on it.
It is a sittable size.
Turning my head over to see that my efforts were completely in vain, and I nearly got myself killed for no reason at all, because Sir Buckethead did not wish to use my sacrifice. I'm going to just sit on this rock and contemplate my life. I end my turn.
Valentin uses his action to pout. Serario.
Oh, I'm thinking. I'm just gonna do a regular fear, bro. Oh god, wrong click. Wrong click. Ignore me! I'm dyslexic. I pressed the wrong button.
You gotta target him, control left click.
Oh, it just didn't show me the arrow this time. That's why I was like, huh?
Oh.
So I was like, where's the fucking arrow? Okay, never mind. It's not there. It's okay.
Hearing Sarah swear always surprises me, because she does it just often enough that it's not weird, but not often enough that I don't notice it every time she do.
You should come to my streams.
I do.
It's cursing left and right.
Not all the time.
It's very much cursing all the time.
I was like, Valentin comes.
Maybe River's just not paying enough
Is it just
attention.
attack and then damage if it hits, right?
Yes.
Okay. I was just remembering because it's different for fireball.
That's a hit. Roll damage. And Serario with the most kills of this combat. How do you finish it off, Serario?
Your firebolt damage is wrong. It should be 2d10 because you're level 5 now.
Honestly, earlier that was like the biggest fart ball to come out of like Serario's ass. So she kind of just like had like a little rumble left, and she bends over and just forcefully pushes that fireball out, like it just smacks him in the face.
The ogre dies mostly out of shame as opposed to the fire damage. And yes, that actually should have done more damage. So if someone can teach her how to add the additional damage that firebolt should be doing later, that'd be great. Okay. With that, Nessus falls quiet as combat ends. As does your guys' weekly downtimes. We are now in the last week. What are you doing? Last week of downtimes. We're going to start with Zandra.
Fuck.
I mean, you could. That blacksmith daughter is pretty interested in you.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say, can I go back to the blacksmith? And
I think she has some issues.
You start a very different type of side quest.
I'm gonna conquer other tracts of land. So she'll go back to the blacksmith. Hey, I know we got off on the wrong foot. I really apologize. Can I try again?
Roll persuasion.
She's not. Oh God. Persuasion.
Would anyone like to donate an inspiration so she can do it at advantage, double that one again, and then make me laugh? No, he says.
Oh, come on!
All right. Well, can't blame me for trying. And she'll. Is there any other blacksmiths in town that she could work with, or is he the only one?
He's the only one. It's a pretty small town.
You can open up your own blacksmith and rival him.
She can't. She's not a citizen.
Yeah. Well, she's also not angry, or so she's not in the mood to switch over to Devon, so there's no reason she's gonna go flirt with the daughter. So she'll, fuck. Can you come back to me? Since that didn't work, that was
Sure.
literally her only plan.
Lloyd's AFK. Valentin.
For the entire week, I don't leave my room except for one moment, for the few moments where I need to go finish off my lessons for the week. And also I would like to go by the blacksmith to pick up the coat of armor that he promised me.
Alright. You pick it up. You have the armor. Blacksmith gives it to you. What are you doing for your downtime action, though? Like, what's the main thing that you're doing? Is that just taking a rest?
No, I'm going for the lessons again.
Oh, the lessons. Sorry, I missed that. For sure. You take some lessons and you learn more.
But like I said, I don't leave my room unless it's for those very specific reasons, and then I just go back.
Understandable.
Are you really pouting because I didn't take advantage of you saving me?
Wait, sorry, ignore that.
So let's see. That's 8 out of 10 weeks then. I still need 2 weeks extra. Where the fuck did I put it? Oh, right. It's in my abilities. There we go. 8. Oh no, we did. I didn't do that. I only had 6 out of 10. I think that there was 2 weeks where I couldn't go. And now I'm gonna put on armor again.
Alright.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Zandra. Can I come back to you, or?
No.
No. Dee Dee.
Oh my God! You know what? Go ahead and do DD first, and I'll come back to me after that.
Okay.
I mean, why not do? You should do Zandra first. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I'll just do you both at the same time. Dee Dee and Zandra, what are you doing? You mind out of the gutter, ladies. Mind out of the gutter.
Sure.
I mean, my
we'll do
mind's
that when
not
you
in
do, man. I mean, Deirdre already has a favor from her god. Are we really in need of funds, or is there something else that I can do to benefit all of us?
Wait, so
Nobody's
Dee Dee's out of funds?
No, I'm asking if should I get more funds through whatever downtime action I take. I don't know what's downtime action in character. I'm unsure what's really needed for the group, I suppose.
Is there anything you can do to prep for our potential war?
Can I? Well, do we have? We only have some of the refugees here, right? We haven't mobilized all of them.
You haven't even gotten any of the additional ones yet.
Right.
Just letters and initial contact has been made, so this way when the living immortals get here, you can have some of them go with you to talk to the refugees.
We have food. So I think the next thing I'd like to do is like maybe put together some sort of impromptu or like improvised sort of medical like thing that we can take and set up as like a pop-up tent to treat people and take care of them so that we're adequately supplied as far as healing is going to be concerned, or like tending to the wounded, to make sure that the forces that we lead will be in as good a shape as possible for as long as possible. So what am I doing for that?
I don't know. What are you doing for what?
You didn't hear anything I just said?
No, I did. I don't know what you want to do. You gave me the end result, but not like what
no,
you like.
she's going to start gathering like medical supplies and tools and things that they can bring with them. And maybe even like acquire a cart or something just so that they can have some kind of a medical team on standby.
That just sounds like some general shopping.
Yeah, I guess.
Not really an action.
God fucking damn it. Well, can I roll medicine to sort of find whatever products will get the most bang for our buck? So
sure, tell you what, if you want to spend a whole week just buying regular items and get, like making mercantile connections, I'll allow it. But it's going to be a charisma-based check.
God fucking damn it, never mind.
Sorry. Well, you still got an action.
Anyway.
You could always do work or research or pit fighting. There's also carousing if you wanted to make connections.
What about mud wrestling?
She could do a mud wrestling
I'll
thing.
fight in the fucking pits. That sounds fun.
Alright, you start a mud wrestling competition or pit fighting competition.
Mud wrestling.
Hot.
Like getting back home.
Hot, especially since mud's hard to get here, so you basically have to craft it with your spells.
Mud's hard. Yeah, I was going to say mud's hard to get in an environment in which I can create water, and we got like wet. Oh, I guess it's not really dirt.
You're going to make 3 checks. An athletics, an acrobatics, and a constitution check that has a bonus equal to a roll of your largest hit die. If you choose, you can replace one of those checks with an attack roll using any of your weapons.
Athletics? Wow. Okay. Acrobatics?
Well, hold on first. You, first off, end up wrestling against the new sergeant of the constabulary, and you easily pin him in the mud. You hear him giggling as you do so, as if this might be something he's okay with.
Yeah, she's like 100%, like she's literally wearing like a skimpy outfit, but as far as she's concerned, it's to like make the sport more difficult because you don't have stuff to grab onto. It's just slippery. But it looks like fucking bikini mud wrestling.
I mean, so there's mud, like there's legitimate like mud wrestling in India. It's a very competitive like traditional sport, and they wear very little for it.
The sergeant's going as you like just hit him into the mud.
All right.
Almost.
I'm rolling acrobatics next.
Yep, unless you want to replace that with a weapon check.
But the last one's just Constitution, right?
Constitution plus your hit die, which is a D12 that you get to add onto it.
Sandra is eagerly watching
All
these.
right. Yeah, I'm gonna do a weapon attack instead of whatever the hell that other thing was.
Sure, so you bring a weapon
Wait.
to this mud wrestling. Meaning
No,
it's,
you said I could replace it.
yeah,
No,
but
that's not what I thought it-
No, but it's gonna be like stick, like a big stick, and you're on platforms to knock the other person into the mud. You're fine. You're replacing it, but it's still you using a weapon.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
Flavor-wise,
I
it's
don't
still
wanna hurt
fine.
anybody.
You're not. It's not gonna cause any damage or anything.
Okay.
Have you've been hit by sticks?
Didi,
I
your
know.
second opponent is actually Phazon, who wanted to come and join the festivities himself, and he gets a 22 against your 23. Just
Damn!
barely losing to you. Is over the last 2 months he's been taking weapons practice from you, Majida, the constabulary, and everyone around, and it's clear that he's starting to get a little bit better. His pudgy body's becoming more hard and trained, and he's ready to fight. He's really coming into himself. And he nearly defeats you at one point, knocking you slightly off balance, but then you sweep your stick out into his ankles and send him ass over tea kettle into the mud. Alright, and your last
getting there.
opponent is the blacksmith.
The blacksmith.
Oh no.
Constitution
Nice.
check.
Plus 12, right?
Constitution check plus 1d12. So you're going to roll Constitution, and then you're going to do a d12. In the end, you lose the last... Oh, wait, hold on. I got to see the d12. That's right. So you got a 22 total?
Yeah.
No, 24.
24?
24.
In the end, you win all of your bouts as the blacksmith gives it his all, and his daughter tries to cheat from the sidelines with Valentin threatening her. Not threatening, but just, you've got blackmail on her, Valentin. As at one point she tries to flash the referee to give her dad a
Well, I mean,
chance.
I don't leave my room, so I don't
Oh
see this
yeah, you're not
happening.
there. Well, regardless, at one point she tries to flash the referee in order to get him distracted from the fight.
So when I win, I want to do the thing that really, really sexy female goth wrestler does, where she like pushes them down and she's kind of...
She's talking about Rhea Ripley.
Yes, I
know
want to
which
do the
one.
Rhea Ripley
Yeah.
move, where she flips there and looks at the audience like, yeah, I'm doing yeah. The one that makes me feel special things inside. I want to do that
yeah.
to the blacksmith.
She makes us all feel that way.
She's basically mounting the blacksmith. The
You-
things she
Yeah.
does to Selena Vega.
Alright, you mount the blacksmith, and he doesn't seem all that perturbed by this. And you think you even whisper, "You're gonna have a new mommy, baby."
Oh no!
She gives him a wink.
Over the next few days, you learn that
That's
the
the
blacksmith
only way
is
to earn the
dogged.
blacksmith's
Yeah.
the blacksmith's trust.
The
To
next
beat him
day-
in fucking combat.
The next day, Zandra, you were suspiciously allowed back in the smithy, and
Wait, hold up. Okay, let's roleplay this, okay? So, Zondra, after walking away, like frustrated as hell that she gave it like almost no effort and like is like so bad at charisma she couldn't get through. She gets really upset and she's like, "Fuck it, and I need to go try again." And she's gonna try and
Can
pull
she
out
see-
all the charm out of her ass, and she's gonna
Can
walk
she
up.
see a disheveled Deirdre walking out of the blacksmith's face?
oh my god, did you guys bang? You banged the blacksmith?
I don't know,
Okay.
I'm a woman, I've got needs.
Hell yeah, alright. Her and the blacksmith
All right,
bang.
okay.
Good god.
Damn. Okay, never
I
mind.
walk
I mean,
out
this
with like
changed-
it's like the tussled sort of open white blouse. And she looks like
well,
she's
Didi,
just coming back from
hold
like
on.
wetting her
Before
hair
you guys
or
do this
something.
roleplay, do you want to know how much you won?
Sure.
200 gold pieces.
Jesus
Ooh.
Christ! Why
As,
did
And
I
the
fucking
respect of
spend
a
my
very
time
sexy
doing
dad.
mud wrestling?
So, So how about this? Zandra will walk up to the blacksmith's place, expecting him to be his typical grumpy self, and instead you stumble out, like disheveled, clothes undone. Yeah. Dee Dee?
Hey, Zandra.
Well, things are going well, I see.
I was doing work in the fort, just pounding on the anvil really hard.
I bet you were. Wow. Yeah.
He's in there. Just make sure that if he starts to sit down and it hurts, remind him that he should just stand for a little while. It'll go away by later.
Beautiful.
I need to go.
The blacksmith, when you get in there,
You know what? She's gonna need for pounding ass, and that blacksmith's gonna knock his ass. Damn!
It was the blacksmith who called me mommy last night.
the blacksmith, when you get in there, you've never seen him smile. And yet today, he's in an apron, he's in, like, some shorts, he's got his muscles on full display, and he's fucking whistling happily while he's cooking breakfast. Meanwhile, his daughter is sitting at the table, and she looks more pissed than you've ever seen her. She looks borderline furious. The minute you come in, she yells, "Oh, Devin!" and drapes herself all over you. You think that the blacksmith is going to yell at you, get mad. He looks at you, he says, "Hey," and then he goes back to cooking. The daughter immediately frowns and then, like, stops trying to get all over you and just goes back and sits down. As Dee Dee has single-handedly fixed this family dynamic.
Well,
So
for
all she
one of
needed
the
was a
two
big,
people,
strong
one of the two
mother
people is
figure.
in a better position than they were before. Anyways, Zandra will like look back and forth between the two, like you know, caught between two, like a prey caught between two predators, like not sure how to handle the situation, kind of jumpy. Is it all right if you know? I really wanted to come back.
Just use whatever you need to. Use whatever you need to. I'll pay you for the day based on whatever you make.
Oh. Okay.
Hey.
All right.
Isn't it a great day? He says, putting a big hand on your shoulder and handing you a plate of eggs.
Sandra will like nervously take the plate and looks at him like this. Is this a trick? Is he about to like sucker punch me or something? And
he smiles at you, revealing one of the sweetest smiles you've actually ever seen a man give.
You know what?
You know what?
Like, I can't. Okay, you know that. What's his fuck? The Samurai Jack. You know that like that gif of like the evil guy smiling at him, and Samurai Jack does that like really nervous, like twitchy smile. That's Thunder and just like the super like
Dee realigned this man's chakra.
Yeah, with my
Literally.
immovable rod.
Wasn't the only thing she rearranged.
Damn.
Sometimes that's all you need. All you need is love.
In your butthole.
Alright, Dee Dee, add 200 gold to your sheet if you haven't already. Zandra, go ahead and roll me whatever you want with advantage, because the blacksmith helps you on stuff that you're working on today. Just whistling and having a great time. His good mood is infectious.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna roll.
The mud pits were the best thing I've ever chosen to do.
Oh my
this
god, a
entire
2.
adventure.
I dropped the 2. Thank God. 18.
With a-
So 25.
With a 25, the blacksmith pays you the entire profits the shop makes over the week, saying that you worked really hard and that you deserve it. You make 125 gold pieces.
Damn. Yeah, let's go.
The daughter.
Thank you for this, River.
The
I
daughter.
appreciate you.
No problem. I appreciate you too, Dee Dee. I'm not always Mr. Mean DM.
He just seems to do that towards the men.
Okay. Oh no. Oh, so when you're hovering over the gold pieces, do not click and drag. I repeat, do not click and drag by accident. It just, I don't know how, but I just completely random changed my gold from like 498 to 1992.
You should have 498. Go ahead and put it back.
Yeah, 498 plus 125. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 623.
All right. Meow.
I think one of my strongest motivations in this campaign is now to become a good mom and good wife.
Does the daughter ignore Zandra the entire week?
Oh yeah, she's lost all interest in you because her dad isn't pissed about anything anymore.
Zandra has zero like Zandra and Devin are complete opposites. Zandra wants nothing to do with the daughter.
The daughter pouts and does everything over the week to like get her dad's attention again, and nothing seems to work as he's just in a really good mood.
All right, perfect.
Dee Dee, he spends like every night with you after that, as he'll come to the inn. He'll come to the inn, and
I
always
want
brings...
there to also be like cute cameo moments where I'm like carrying stuff for the mud pit and I wink at it.
Yeah, sure.
I'm like walking to the mud pit.
Sure. Everything that you do, the blacksmith just always seems to be around anytime he's off work.
Aww.
He brings you food and bread and shit. Yeah, actually, he brings you bread.
Hell yeah.
That's
the true sign of love, right? When you give bread to somebody.
Well, yeah, that's the move that his daughter tried using, so you don't know where she got it from. Regardless, moving on to Serario.
I'm still taken aback by the fact that you just pegged them.
I mean, why eat bread when you could be bread? You know what I mean?
I was like... It was great. I don't even know what to do now.
Oh no, Luminous, the profits didn't go down because I spent the whole week running his smith for him, essentially.
Yep. Also, he just took a big commission to make a bunch of weapons because the party are trying to raise an army.
Mm-hmm.
Do we even know the name of the blacksmith?
Yes, actually, I've said his name several times.
We just have the worst memory
What's
ever.
his name?
Did you write it down?
It doesn't matter, he's the guy who got pegged now.
Oh
I was like, I want to know, what did DD call him?
Yeah, Dee Dee, what did you call him in bed?
Honey bun.
It sounds like you're avoiding to say his name.
Do you not know
He
his name?
doesn't even know his name.
Okay, this is not fair because Undyne doesn't know his name, but Deirdre would know his name. This is frustrating.
Would she?
When's the last time we fucking played?
He introduced himself to you before. People don't normally introduce themselves multiple times. I think deep down, Dee Dee just knows him as Mr. Blacksmith. I'm kidding, but no, you actually would know his name. I'm not going to tell you.
I know. Okay.
It's Mr. Smith, Daddy. It's okay.
Hey, well, from the moment he was born to be a smith.
I know his name.
What's his name?
Anwar Chom or Com?
Yes, actually, that is his name.
Yeah. Oh, I did write that down, actually. Holy shit.
Yeah, but I'm the one who remembered it first. Give me inspiration.
You said Anwar Crom?
Chom.
What? Chom.
Anwar space CHOM.
I remember that we actually did hear his name because the daughter came by, and then we found out, oh shit, that's the blacksmith daughter because of her surname.
Yep, you found out the daughter's name and then the blacksmith's name as well. But yeah, Anwar Chom is his name. So, yep, you have his name, Dee Dee. You and Anwar spent a very nice last week together.
Before we die.
I'm going to do a roleplay
Oh my
scene
God.
at the end of all of this, too. But Serario, I need to know what you're doing.
Lord. Kids are done with the school. We did their presentations. They're done.
Would you-
Serario things.
You could have committed in, like, the featherweight division of the mud wrestling, if you wanted.
Bit of a wait.
Sure. Let's take some turkeys
That's
down.
what it's called, right?
Yeah, why are you laughing at me?
That's what they call
know
it.
it's his
That's
name.
below cruiserweight.
Okay, I gotta
How
ask.
many whites are there?
Oh, a few actually. What do you gotta ask?
Depends on what sport you're talking about, actually.
That's true.
If the blacksmith was able to participate in the mud wrestling and still be there to like help me with the smithy, could I have also participated in the mud wrestling?
Yes, but not as an action.
That's fine.
So,
I don't need to earn money or anything. I just want to participate.
Yeah, flavor-wise, you can... tell you what, Serario and Zandra first up. But, Zandra, to make it fair, I am going to generate the roll instead of letting
That's
you roll.
fine.
Are you cool with
No,
that?
I don't.
Cool.
I don't care.
Alright, Serario, athletics. And remember, you can substitute any of these with a weapon attack, like a dagger strike or something.
-1.
So you got athletics, you got acrobatics, and you've got a constitution check that you have to make. With a 9, you're up against Zandra first. Zandra gets a total of 11, meaning you lose your first bout, Serario. Now,
I'm weak.
acrobatics or weapon attack.
Acrobatics.
As you're up against one of the dwarven children that you rescued, the refugees, next.
Oh, damn it!
The dwarven child gets an 18, absolutely decimating you, Serario.
I am just getting fucking destroyed.
And now, constitution check plus a d6 for a sorcerer. Unless you want to make a weapon attack instead.
How do you do the constitution check again?
Main page, and it should be on the left
Yeah.
side.
Oh, the left
Check-
side. Okay, I see it.
Save.
Check. And then you're going to add a d6 on top of it.
You said the left side, right?
Of the main page, yes.
Okay. Where it says con.
Yes, right there. Okay, and then roll a d6.
This one, right?
Yep. Nice, an 18. That's looking good. And your opponent only gets a 14, meaning you win the endurance round, winning a total of 25 gold pieces, Serario.
Go buy a bread.
You go buy some bread. Okay. And lastly, Mr. Buckethead, what are you up to?
Can I participate in the mud wrestling too?
You may, sure.
He heard that you could get 200 gold from it, so he decided to participate too.
Possibly a lover.
Athletics first.
Okay.
Possibly a lover.
This is our group's version of the beach episode.
I'll go with the first roll. No, you roll at advantage, so please... Oh, are you raging currently?
Oh, it probably didn't turn off. Okay, let me toggle it.
Okay.
You don't want to rage?
Oh, I would have to roll wild magic.
Yeah, he would have to trigger wild magic if he chooses to rage. You just turned another one on. I'll just... There, they're both off.
How do I
Don't worry about it.
disable it just so for the future? I mean.
I'm not certain on the player's
Okay.
side.
Okay. Hello, Monster Kitty.
Alright, so... Your first opponent is the blacksmith's daughter. And with a 19, she suplexes you into the mud. Thank you, Valtria. You lose the first bout.
Angry about what's happened, so she's taking her anger out on you.
You lose the first bout. Next is acrobatics or a weapon attack.
I guess I'll just do a weapon attack.
Okay.
Monster Kitty, please.
Your next bout is Phazin in the round robin division, and he sweeps your leg out from underneath you with a 16, and you go crashing into the mud. You lose your second bout.
Great.
And lastly,
See,
the
it's
con
because he's wearing
check.
too much clothing.
The con check you get a plus a d10 to because you're a paladin.
No, I'm not.
A barbarian, so it's plus a d12.
All right, so what do I need to roll?
Constitution check, so main page, left side. And then you're going to roll a 12-sided dice on top of that, which I realize DD probably should have rolled a D10 instead of a D12, but we're going to go with it because it was still less than the total amount. Nice! Now add your D12 to it.
Also because I got a hot blacksmith daddy.
Yes, you do have a hot daddy blacksmith now. And he
Yeah.
takes care of you and Dr. Biscuits.
Jaeger biscuit, baby!
With a 28, you absolutely obliterate your last round, which is against the one of dwarf refugees that you had rescued, the soldier one. And you beat your last one, also winning 25 gold pieces.
Yay.
Alright. And with that, the dignitary arrives.
Dude, a bunch of fucking mud wrestling.
I imagine the dignitary arriving and we're all still covered in mud.
What? Oh.
Oh, by the way, River, would my breastplate be done by now?
Yes.
Okay.
They come marching in with the rising sun at their backs. An impressive host of mercenaries waving the sign of the living immortals. Their banner is that of some giant machine. A humanoid figure with wide shovel hands, wheels instead of feet, is on their heraldry. You soon see why, as a good 20 to 30 of their number seem to be mechanical soldiers, clockwork, machinery. Now you know where the name Living Immortals comes from.
I thought you were going to say that they were wheelchair bound.
They march in Held's Head high, some of their number on horseback, although the horses are kind of floundering in the desert and don't seem like they're all that comfortable yet. In their middle, as they are maybe 500 strong, as they set up their camp outside of Nessus, there's far too many of them to host inside, there is a palanquin covered in finery, pulled by no less than a team of 7 axebeaks. They begin setting up camp outside of Nessus before making any formal introductions, which is pretty standard. You guys could go out to them, or you could wait for them to come to you. Either way, the Living Immortals and the Merchant Prince Sept has arrived.
Do you think it's customary we go visit them first, or should we wait here?
In this circumstance, Faison says, either is appropriate. In one sense, we look like we are subservient to her. In one sense, we force her to be subservient to us, it looks like. She could take offense to that, or she could view it as all sorts of different things. I don't know enough about these kinds of politics, Faison says.
What if we met them halfway?
He shrugs. I don't know. I don't even know what kind of message that would send. I'm not gonna lie, I'm in over my head now.
No, you're not.
What kind of check would it be to kind of understand? Would it be like a insight?
A history.
Fuck. Why am I so bad at all these checks?
Because your stats are.
Because my
what they
stats
are.
are shit. I know. Yes,
And also you're-
perfect.
What an amazing
What is Saunders'
roll.
interpretation of this?
Oh, mine's not much better. But I will add my D8.
Mine's not much better. It's a full 10 better.
With the bump up to an 18, Valentin, Custom says that
Wow.
For those who can't see, because we're off the board right now, Sly's rolled a nat 1, and with a -1, he's rolled a total of 0 on his history check. Valentin, you are about to come to a realization of it, and then Buckethead, what do you do to break his concentration?
I don't know. I honestly wasn't thinking when I rolled that.
Buckethead unleashes a mighty fart, and you guys know those like toys that when you squish, they have like the bubble come out of their butt?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That happens! And Valentin,
That's
you
disgusting.
catch it out of the corner of your eye, you look over, and you're just so absolutely flabbergasted, everything you were thinking of just out your head.
Oh, Lord.
And then you watch it as like the big pouch that it makes goes back into him.
Ah!
It looked like
Well,
a
I didn't
frog.
want to make.
instead
I
of
didn't
down
want to
his
make
throat.
that check anyway.
Remember, guys, rather than rolling yourselves, you can always choose to give someone advantage.
Yeah, but it's really funny watching my character get, like, 3.
Carry on.
Yeah, I gotta say, rolling a 0 is pretty fun.
It's pretty fun. Gotta be honest.
Alright, what are you guys gonna do then?
Well, I'll just assume that the people from Thanskoran are going to deal with this, so I'm just going to go back to my room.
Valentin goes back to pout. Lloyd, Phazon looks to you.
I mean, realistically, you would be the only one to have a decent understanding of what should happen here. Please save us.
What?
Oh.
What do you mean, please save us? We didn't need saving, and then someone farted.
Perhaps we walk out there, barge straight into her tent, and demand her attention.
It could show that we're brave, I suppose, Phazon says, willing to go along with anything you guys say.
If we're trying to show that we're brave, maybe we go out there and insult her. Just challenge her to
Okay.
a battle.
I would advise
I
against that.
I come back because my Valentin senses were tingling. How about we don't do that?
Okay. What about perhaps we lock the doors
I'm
and
gonna-
Ness.
I'm gonna go find my Dwarven refugee.
Oh, Valentin, hello.
Have you ever met the Merchant Prince before?
No.
Would you like to?
Aren't they the people who have been keeping us from getting any help or anything in this desert?
Yes.
Sure, let me grab my stick. He reaches and he grabs his warhammer.
Well, we keep that, but don't actually use it. We're mainly just, going to show that we mean business.
Yeah, you told me the plan. I'll behave.
Don't break her kneecaps.
Yet.
That was said as an offhand joke. Don't actually break the kneecaps.
Yet.
Not now.
Gives
not
you
ever.
a wink.
Right, and he gives you a
Don't
wink.
do it.
Unless I give the signal. Unless I give the signal. And what was the signal? We talked about this.
We did. Wink.
I can't wink. I got an eye patch. I'll either blink or not.
Exactly. And he winks at you again. And then he's walking past you towards the group.
I think he's mocking you at this stage.
I'm going to take off my eye patch.
Would you like me to accompany you, Valentin?
With all your due respect, Sir Buckethead.
You
What
look
sort
like
of-
you're going through some things right now.
What sort of experience do you have with politics
Well, mainly I meant, do you want me to go with to make sure he doesn't break the Merchant Prince's kneecaps? Maybe going as muscle.
I mean, we're all going to talk to the Merchant Prince.
Well, I thought we were just doing the introduction phase right now.
I think we're all going to introduce ourselves.
Oh, are we all going?
She
I
did
hope
want to
so.
meet you all.
Oh, okay then. That means you don't have a choice in the matter. I am going with you.
We're right.
Well, what are we waiting
Terrario.
for?
Terrario, Lloyd, Deirdre, you coming?
Everyone
I guess
comes.
so.
Yeah. Okay. You guys begin approaching towards the camp. You can see those mechanical automatons are helping set the camp up. Valentin, you are pretty certain that the only country to develop these sorts of creatures, which are known as Warforged, was Kadron, and the method of making them is long lost along with the country.
Interesting.
Regardless, they are extremely polite. They act and behave almost exactly like people, but clearly have orders. One of them approaches you. Good evening! And then he looks
Well
up at the
met.
sun. Good morrow! I am
Yes.
BUTL3R. It's nice to meet you. You may call me Butler.
Hi.
I serve as an aide.
It's a bizarre name.
It's a designation, ma'am. I am a Warforged. Forged in the steels of combat.
Where were you forged? Do you remember?
Yes. I'm out of Craftsman in Kadron. One of the most advanced of their line, as you can tell by my speech patterns. Designed to
Right.
seamlessly integrate as the perfect assistant to the battlefield commander.
And how did you end up in the Living Immortals?
I'm sorry, sir, that information is classified. You would have to ask my commander, or I would have to get express permission from him to share that with you.
I see.
I can assure
Is
you, though,
your-
sir, everything is above board and sanctioned by the Kadron royal family. Rest their souls.
Ah. And your commander is...
That would be Commander Jacqueline Highwind.
Oh. Can I roll a history check on high winds?
Yeah, sure. The Highwind family is a very prestigious noble family in Aklis. First off, everyone in their lineage is Jack, Jacqueline, Jackie, or something other that starts with Jack. It's been going down since they started. They are extremely well known for the way that
Being jacked?
the Highwind family doesn't allow the children to join any mercenary companies that they have themselves established. Meaning, the Highwind family is kind of cast out from the rest of their kin into various mercenary companies where they either rise to the ranks and wind up leading the company through valor, skill, and politics, or they die. Meaning that this Jacqueline Highwind likely was a member of the Living Immortals quite some time ago, rose to the ranks and took command over it themselves when the previous commander would have retired to their property in Aklis. Either way, Highwind is a pretty prestigious name. Especially if it's a true Jack from them. We lost someone.
Undyne, again.
I miss her already.
Sometimes I can still hear her.
And she returned. Again, Aklis has really poor naming conventions, guys. They're really silly with their names. But regardless, Jacqueline Highwind is the commander of this. You don't know much about her, but you should learn about her pretty soon.
It's Commander Jacqueline Highwind with the Merchant Prince right now.
No, sir. Commander Highwind is likely seeing to the men's arrangement of the camp at the moment. The Merchant Prince Sept is currently in her quarters. I am instructed to bring you to either of them of your choice. You will meet with both of them in time.
Yes, indeed. I would like to meet the commander first, if that's okay with you.
You do not need ask my permission, sir. I am alive but to serve. Follow me, merry men. The Warforged is this big, by the way, mechanical and flesh construction. You can see that part of its head is that of a normal human flesh skull, and then about the other half of it seems to be cold steel with clockwork bits showing every now and then. Its torso is kind of very, very broad on the top, and then it narrows down slender in around the rib cage area, only to then bubble out in a big circle. It looks like an upside-down triangle on a circle, basically, for its body. And it's in the center, you can see all of its different mechanisms and clockwork encompassed by some sort of glass protective case. It also is painted in the colors of black and white with a little tie coming down it. It's a little bit weird looking.
Aw, cute. He's adorable. He's dressed as a butler.
He's a little weird looking overall, just in general, for those of you who might not have experienced a Warforged. Hey, welcome, Somni. Somni, you missed the blacksmith getting pegged. Thank you for returning. So.
Yeah, lead with that.
Butler leads you through the camp, and you see members of the Living Immortals. Most of the host is actual living and breathing men and women of various short-lived humanoid races. There aren't any dwarves, there aren't any elves, no gnomes. It's halflings, humans, orcs, ogres. You even see some goblins in their employ, as the company is working at setting the camp up. Do you have any questions for Butler? He turns, just his head rotating 180 degrees on his shoulders to look back at you as he continues walking straight ahead. I am also instructed to make you as comfortable as possible while you are visiting the Living Immortals camps, sirs and or ma'ams. Is there any questions you may have or anything I could get you?
Can you give us more information about why exactly we are receiving such treatment?
Of course I can. The Merchant Prince Sept has ordered the commander to spare no expense. Apparently, you are quite established, renowned fighters and heroes, and the former employee of the Snake Charmer. As such, she highly respects you, your opinions, and your actions that you have accomplished. She thinks that you will be invaluable in ridding the desert of whatever evils have come across it. She also has a hearty great respect for adventurers, having ties with the Red Door Union of Helmelin. All in all, you are to be treated as the veterans and heroes that you are.
If all of that is true, this could be good for us.
I believe it should be very good for you, ma'am. And yes, I am aware that you were whispering. I am speaking it this way to make you aware that I have excellent hearing.
I wasn't whispering, but,
Oh, perhaps it's on the fritz then. He donks on his head.
How long
I'm
have you
just
been?
very forward and blunt.
How long have you been in the employ of the Living Immortals?
15 years. I served the previous commander before Jacqueline Highwind.
And the previous commander was?
Give me a minute, I need to find his fucking name, so thank you so much for this.
I was gonna be like, damn, that's a kind of a question. Damn. Putting River through his paces.
Killian Licht.
Oh yeah, he got licked all right.
Commander Licht has since retired to a winery in Aklis.
Can I roll a history check on licked?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
That was great.
As far as you know, Killian Licht was an aging war hero that founded the Living Immortals and basically ran it for 70 years before retiring at the extremely old age of 83.
So he started
Wait.
it when he was 13?
13?
Yes, actually,
God damn!
that's standard for Aklis, yes.
Oh my god, I didn't realize that we were in fucking Naruto here.
Knights.
Yeah, I mean, like, I imagine, like starting being a warrior at 13, but starting a mercenary company at 13?
Yeah, knights.
Damn.
Knights. He was son of a nobleman.
Oh, gotcha.
Remember, everything in Aklis is done through mercenary companies. Like, that's how the nobles prove their standings, and it is a mandatory military service that they serve in a mercenary company operating abroad. So this way they can then bring the experience back to Aklis. They are almost 100% knights, all made through various mercenary companies. So if he started one when he was young, it probably would have only been in name only, and the Living Immortals, also again why they have such silly names, the Living Immortals would have started out likely as a mercenary company of pages, squires, and people helping out other mercenary companies and knights, instead of actually seeing direct battle.
Gotcha. That makes more sense.
Mm-hmm. Getting to 83 as an Aklis noble is pretty difficult, especially if you've run a mercenary company the majority of that time. Valentin said he had to BRB a moment. Does anyone have any other questions that you would like to ask of Butler?
I mean, we probably would have discussed before, but like we ascertained from the note that we had gotten, or the letter that we'd gotten, that they're trying to use us to be like the primary force to push out the refugees. Am I misunderstanding this?
No, remember, their primary goal isn't to actually harm the refugees, it's to fight the Mirror Man. The refugees are just a convenient scapegoat and something that they can clean up in the desert while they're out there.
Right.
It's everything that they're doing is getting blamed on the refugees, but they're not actually intending on, like, they're not going out and actively like, yeah, let's go fuck up some refugees. They want to fuck up the Mirror Man and whatever other forces are still here in the desert. Zandra, do you have any questions of Butler?
Not a butler.
Didi, Serario,
This is
Lloyd,
a question that I probably would have posed to the group beforehand.
Sure.
If we do go after Kadron and attempt to reconquer it or reclaim it, how do we? What if she decides that that isn't okay because she still is very focused on the Mirror Man? Because going after Kadron would be to kind of ignore the Mirror Man. I see. We have no ideas. We're fine.
No, I'm thinking.
I'm joking. I'm sorry. I was just trying to be stupid.
We don't exactly know what the Mirror Man's objective is,
Or where to find him.
but I assume that a lot of the things that the Mirror Man is doing that makes it possible to do the things he's doing is because he has refugee camps to take manpower from all across
So
the
we go
desert.
with the angle of it's better to solve the issue or the cause of the problem and not the symptoms.
Yes. And then
Right.
once we've done that, then we can actually start focusing on bringing down the Mirror Man. Because
I
otherwise,
like this.
everything is going to be very split up across the desert, and we might not know where to look for him. But if everything is sort of localized towards the same territories, then maybe we can draw him out a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the idea I went with.
Yeah. Okay. That works for me.
No idea if that's going to be enough, but it is what I'm going to make a point of.
We move away from this conversation of the past back to the present. As Butler once again asks, any further questions, sirs and or madams?
Not from me.
So, when I've read about you in my studies,
You've read
You
about
have
me
been-
in your studies?
well, not you specifically,
Yes,
but
that's fine. I
your-
was engaging humor protocols. Yes, my people.
we refer to you as Warforged. Do you refer to yourself as that, or something else?
Yes, sir. Warforged, the Forged, mechanical men. Whatever you prefer to use.
Are all the Warforged here the Warforged that exist?
As far as I know, sir, yes. With the fall of Kadrin, the art of creating us, as well as any that had been made prior, have been lost forever. And I believe that Commander Licht had made a particular deal with the former royal family. Again, sir, I'm unable to speak on the specifics of it as it's all highly classified. But I'm certain that Commander Highwind will answer any of your questions on a need-to-know basis. I think you will find
Thank
her
you.
quite amenable. You are quite welcome, sir, but again, there is no need to thank me. I live to serve.
Well, even if there is no need, I still appreciate you, and I thank you for your time.
Well, I appreciate you, sir. And as he's appreciating you, he walks through a tent that one of the living immortals was trying to set up. And he just knocks the whole thing over. And the halfling that was setting it up looks up, crestfallen, sees its butler, sighs, and goes back to just picking it up. But you do hear him mutter under his breath, "Bloody automaton."
Can I help him set up the tent?
If you would like to stop, yes.
Excuse me, butler. I would like to help one of your men set up the tent.
Butler kind of wheels around as his body then rotates to match the facing of his head, so he's all facing you now. And he looks at the guy setting up his tent. He says, "Private Cummings! It would appear as if our honored guests wish to assist you in setting up your tent. This should have been set up already. I must report this infraction to the commander. Now step aside and watch as true heroes set up your tent for you, Private Cummings!"
Wow, Valentin. Nice. Real A+.
The private snaps to attention and steps back. "As you desire,
No,
sir,"
but
Butler
Lincoln.
says.
I sigh, and I'm going to help set up the tent.
"You had better learn
But
from this
I-
incident, Private Cummings."
What?
Or Private Cummings. Poor guy.
Do you say or do anything as you set up the tent, Valentin?
Only one thing under my breath. All I did was want to help.
Does he do a good job of setting up the tent?
He does a very good job at setting up his tent. As an adventurer and a more experienced one than the relatively young-looking Private Cummings, Valentin sets up his tent extremely well in a great way. And Private Cummings actually seems appreciative of this, as at first he's just looking pissed he's getting scolded, but then he starts noticing that the tricks Valentin uses to speed up the process as well as to set it up more efficiently, and he actually seems like he may have learned something at the end of this.
You learned something.
I also give the private 1 gold.
Oh, thank you. That's a whole day's worth of wages for me.
For the trouble that the automaton caused you.
Thank you? He seems confused, but not willing to turn down a day's wage. Takes the gold from you. Quite finished there, Master Valentin Dolk.
How do you know my full name?
That's classified, sir.
It's classified from my side as well. Well, I guess you didn't know my full name, but you didn't know the name that I go by. So,
Yes, sir, whatever you say, sir, but again, classified. I will say, though, that the Commander and Sept have done their research upon you all very thoroughly.
Who has the authority to access your classified information?
Only the Commander and the Merchant Prince herself. As the Commander's aide, I hold information all at a highly need-to-know basis. My security clearance is only second to them. And there's...
Let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
If for you to make me comfortable, I would like to know this classified information.
I'm
How
sorry.
will that overrule your orders to make us comfortable?
I'm sorry, sir, but classification priorities trump all other priorities.
I see.
Unless the Commander should change those.
Thank you.
You're welcome, but again, there is no need to thank me. I live to serve. And with that, he starts marching again towards the where the Commander's at.
Do you have a soul?
Do I have a soul?
I can answer that. Sundra pipes up. I know the answer to that.
Yes, Zandra. I know you know the answer to that. I want to know what he thinks about it.
Bit of a personal question, don't you think?
A soul isn't
Sundra gets
necessary.
really crestfallen and it's like, oh, well,
Yeah, that's
that
kind of
research
rude of
for
you to
nothing.
ask.
A soul isn't necessary for my day-to-day functions, so I would assume no. However, I am aware that there are some other unnecessary functions that I do possess still from my past as a humanoid.
Oh. I see.
I seem to have made you uncomfortable, sir. Am I correct?
No. Merely... puzzled.
The basis of the Warforged program, sir, is publicly known. I can share some details about that if you would like.
Yes, please.
Well, the process is highly classified, and even that information is hidden from myself. I do remember that I was a volunteer, sir, as was everyone in the Warforged program. Front of the line, combatants against the Underdark, sir. My parts were harvested from the dead, the dying, and the terminally ill who volunteered at their end to donate to the cause. And as such, I am an amalgam of many, many different people, all held together by their various wills of protecting and safeguarding all of humanoid life the world over.
Interesting.
Any further questions, sir?
How old are you?
I believe that as of this summer, I will be, by your calculations, since I was created, 333 years old.
So Cadron has always had an issue with the Underdark invading then?
Yes, sir. From the grinning and the smug dwarves. The two
dwarves.
two primary dwarven gods, sir. The good one, the grinning one, which created the mountains and filled them with treasure, and the smug one, the trickster, that filled them all with traps and horrible things preventing us from accessing the treasures. The god of greed, sir.
And you've been with the living immortals for 15 years.
Yes, sir, that is correct.
So the rest of those years you were spending fighting the Underdark?
Or at standby, yes, sir. I myself am not a combat unit, sir. I am built for administrative purposes and assisting a company commander.
Anyone else have any questions they would like to ask?
I don't, says Butler. Ha ha ha! Humor protocols again.
Do you have anything that you wish to ask of us?
None that my commander won't ask themselves, sir.
How familiar are you with the current situation in Kadron?
I'm aware of the occurrence, ma'am, but I've not been involved in it personally. As well as there's been no word in or out of Kadron for the past 5 years. Tactical assessment is grim for any survivors still there. By now, it would be hard to imagine anyone still alive. In fact, calculations show, at this point, a 99.9% mortality rate for anyone since the fall of Kadron still attempting to exist there.
Lovely. How long would it take to travel from here to Kadron?
Calculations, ma'am. If it was by foot, do we have the aid of vehicles, axe beaks, or beasts of burden?
Yes.
In that case, I would imagine it would take perhaps 2 to 3 weeks. And that would get us to the foot of the mountain. After that is a very difficult vertical climb to the very first tunnels. That should take us potentially another week and a half.
Are there any faster ways to get to Kadron?
None that I know of, sir. Part of Kadron's inaccessibility to the outside world was one of the reasons why it was so heralded as a defensive location against the Underdark and anything attacking from the south. It's also one of the major reasons why the Svelish were unable to conduct any large land-based raids. While the country itself is not very large geographically on a map, verticality, however, takes a very huge precedence, with several thousands feet worth below sea level of tunnels existing.
Do you miss Kadron?
As long as I'm able to fulfill my purpose, sir, I'm happy wherever I am. I do find it regrettable that there was a extreme loss of life there, however.
Well, I have no further questions, so unless anyone else have any.
I have no more.
I like your references, Luminous, back to back as well. Alright. With no more questions, soon you guys find yourself approaching a tall woman, maybe 6'2". She has very, very broad shoulders and quite a masculine face, with long red hair trailing down her back that's beginning to gray very clearly. She's wearing a gambeson and has a broadsword attached to her hip that has the symbol of the Living Immortals. I don't know why I blanked so long there. The Living Immortals heraldry on it. She's currently speaking with another one of the Warforged, except unlike Butler, this one seems to be a little bit larger and more equipped for combat. As she sees you approaching, she nudges at the Warforged, and it trudges away, picking up a heavy barrel as it goes. A few of her men follow after it. And Commander Jacqueline Highwind turns to you. You must be the adventurers I've heard so much about then.
Yes, that is us.
Valentin's still your leader?
Approximately.
If you don't mind then, most of my questions will be directed towards him, although any of you can answer.
We like to be a little bit more democratic, but I'm sure he'll be able to answer the questions relatively well.
Excellent. Master Valentin, you represent the Snake Charmer's interests in Nessus. Am I correct?
No. Faison represents the Snake Charmer's interest in Nessus. We merely represent the Snake Charmer's interests in general, I suppose.
So you're more like enforcers.
Yes, I suppose that's one way to put it.
I see. Why did you come to see me instead of the Merchant Prince?
I was not aware that I needed a reason for either visit.
You didn't. But I would like to know your reasoning behind. All the same.
I find meeting the people that serve someone to be a much better foundation than to meet the person that is in charge of everyone.
I see. A sound creed to live by. Would you like to walk and talk with me while I direct my men at setting up this camp?
Sure.
Excellent. And she gestures for all of you to follow her. The tall woman clasps her hands behind her back as she walks, generally every now and then pointing something out to one of the soldiers or something like that. Butler follows beside her without saying anything. So, is this simply to make introductions? If so, I believe introductions are made. I already know all of you, and you know me.
To some extent, yes. There are a lot of classified information that Butler were unable to answer for us.
Yes. Well, feel free to ask anything that you'd like of me. Just know that I will have questions in turn for you.
How come such a large number of automatons Warforged were put into your custody?
Commander Licht had ownership of them, and when I took over the company, I took over the ownership of them.
Yes, that is how you still have custody of them. I was wondering how you got custody of them in the first place.
How Commander Licht got a hold of them, you mean?
Yes.
I have access to the contracts, but even I'm not certain how he managed to work them out or who he negotiated them with, but they are signed legitimately, as I checked into them, by the former King and Queen of Kadron. They had some sort of armistice deal where I believe if Kadron was ever in danger, that the Living Immortals would answer.
So when Hadron fell,
Commander Licht had already retired and the contract was no longer in standing because the King and Queen were dead. I'm not willing to throw my men into a hall of arrows to die for no cause or no reason when no one there yet lives. And the contract had stipulations where, in such a state, we would be able to refuse the call if needed. But, as there are no members of the royal family still alive, there is no one who will even come to enforce the contract. I will say that the moment that we had heard about the destruction, my company immediately began marching out of Ajin Shu to Kadrin, and it was only once we had confirmation that the royal family was dead did we stop and change our direction.
So, how did you get into the employ of the merchant prince?
She contacted the Kingdom of Aklis looking specifically for our company. As the work we're about to be about has to do with the Kadrin refugees, she seemed to think that my Warforged and some of my soldiers would be the best suited for the job. I've been in her employ for a month now.
And she's a good employer.
Pays fairly, treats us well, nothing unreasonable in demands. Tad too bubbly for my taste, though.
Oh. Okay. I see.
The Mirror Man.
And you took... And yes, the Mirror Man.
Is obviously the largest of the quarry that we'll be hunting. I'd like to hear more about him and how you managed to defeat him.
In a lot of ways, I suppose we didn't.
We did manage to catch him off guard.
You all stand here, and he sounded like a foe not to be reckoned with.
He had magical capabilities that we were able to utilize against him to turn him blind for the moment that we needed to strike. And once we had him under control, we found him fairly easy to subdue. But our goal at that point was not to defeat the Mirror Man. Our goal was to recover as many citizens of Nessus that they had kidnapped as possible.
And how many did you succeed at recovering?
All but 4.
Considering what you were up against, I'm impressed. How many men does the Mirror Man command? And you said that he was working for someone by the name of Furious.
Could be a large number. We don't know the exact number. When we faced them in the sands, there were 40 Savalish warriors with him. Something along those lines.
A worrying amount. You've heard the saying, obviously, that a single Svelish is worth 10 Ostos soldiers.
Well, a single Svelish warrior is worth about a third of one of us, so...
I like the confidence. I see why she has so much faith in you that you'll be able to get the jobs done.
I sure hope so, too. You, how long have you been in charge of the living immortals?
Let's see. I served as the third in command, just under Butler, for about 5 to 15 years. On and off. Mercenary ranks change pretty regularly, sir. And then I believe that I have now been in service to the Living Immortals as its commander for the last 10. Give or take a few years.
So, the butler told us that he's been in the employ of the Living Immortals for 15 years. But he was still the second in command during those years you were with him?
The minute he was hired.
Interesting.
It is his entire job and purpose, after all. Butler's head, again, wheels around 180 degrees to look at you all and gives a weird backwards nod.
So how come... Oh, never mind. You're from Atlas. That's why you joined the mercenary company. You're a Highwind, correct?
That I am. Born Jackson, become Jacqueline.
Hmm.
And you did what before you joined the Living Immortals?
Shit the bed and pissed my pants, sir. As any child does.
Can you just remind to me again? She has graying hair, you said.
Yep.
And you were how old when you joined the Living Immortals?
Fairly young. Was a page for most of it. Squire. I don't count any of my time as a no-ranker in the Living Immortals, sir. As a private or a sergeant or anything like that. My family only cares about the prestige, you see. We measure our times of service by our times in trusted positions. Inner circle, so to speak. Compared to the rest of my family, I'm still a greenhorn who achieved ranking very late in life.
I think leading one of the most prominent mercenary companies from Atlas isn't a small feat.
Neither do I, but tell my big brother that. She laughs.
And your big brother is who?
Jackery Highwind.
And what company does he lead?
The Promised Victory.
That too is not a company that he created, if I understand your family history correct.
You understand it quite correct, sir. Jackery's been fighting on the front lines of Ostos since he could swing his bottle around like a club. And he achieved ranking, I believe, at the young age of 15.
Well, pretty impressive. Are we there yet?
We weren't going anywhere.
I thought you said we were walk and talk.
Yeah, you've been walking and talking. You're not going anywhere, you're just walking and talking while she's giving
Oh, we're
orders
walking in
and commands.
circles.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You just came to meet with her, so she's busy and she's talking to you while she's doing that.
Okay, got it.
The Svelish. What sort of powers and abilities are they capable of fielding? So much of the Svelish is shrouded in mystery and myth.
The one we faced, a couple of them at least, have shown this sort of warrior-like mentality of unbridled rage, and it keeps them going even through wounds that would succumb most warriors. but there was one in particular that also cut out his eyeball in order to summon something. What was it? Spectral warriors, or was it thunder? No, it was icy cold that came out of the eye.
Fascinating.
So they used some sort of primal magic, some of them.
In your report, you also mentioned that something was being done to the common folk.
Yes. But we don't know if that's because of this Svelish or just because of the Mirrored Man.
What was
They
happening?
were stripping them of their soul, in a way. It was like they turned into living dead before our eyes. But they were still very much living creatures. It's just there was nothing inside of them. It was an empty husk.
It sounds horrible.
Yes.
Well, you don't need to have any. You don't need to have any fear. With you at the helm, we'll get those bastards and make them pay for every last bit that they took from us.
I hope so. It still weighs on my mind that we couldn't save more of them.
I understand that feeling, but sometimes you have to be satisfied with whatever results you can get on the battlefield.
To a certain degree, maybe. But I never strive for anything less than perfection.
Speaking of perfection, and she stops and she turns directly to Dee.
Hello, Dee.
You're from the dynasty then, correct?
Yes.
You're not.
I know. I panicked. God damn it. I don't know.
What clan do you
lady
follow?
turns and just starts. Jesus Christ. No. No.
What?
I'm from the same place as these two. And she gestures to Serario and Val. I don't know why I said Val
Wait,
instead
to
of...
me.
No! The other
Who's
Val!
There's
Zandra.
there's no other Val than me here.
I know, that's why I said I thought it was silly that I said Serario and then I said Val for Valtria instead of fucking Zandra.
Zandra.
Sorry. Yeah.
We're from Rabios.
May I ask, stigmata'd or not?
Why?
Is that towards me or all of us or just
The three of you, yes. And as for
I don't know
why,
if you've met...
I want to know if anyone's going to be coming after you and if I need to put an honor guard on you or not.
I don't think we need an honor guard, but... Yeah, I do believe that they're going to try to start using more persuasive tactics to get us to come back.
So long as you're employee of Sept and assisting in this, you have the entire company at your back. It would take a very bold bounty hunter indeed to break through the ranks of the living immortals.
If you bring Trigger back into this, I'm going to fucking strangle you.
Zandra is starting to get some very dangerous ideas.
Regardless, you are all safe here. Zandra, as a note, you've been hearing a very quiet and insistent voice in your head, repeating, "Kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him," as the sword is definitely surrounded by a lot of people in authority right now.
Yeah.
So your bloodthirsty is probably going up a little bit, that meter.
Yeah.
Regardless, Jacqueline Highwind says, I don't believe I have any further questions then. Apart from, if you don't mind my bluntness, she says, staring directly at Buckethead. What in the name of the king are you?
That's an excellent question.
None of us know.
I don't have an answer.
He's a friend.
Aww.
I will take your word for it then, but I'll have you know that I don't take kindly to knives in my back or in my bedroll.
Are
Or
you
you just
implying that I
assume
would kill
because
you
he's
in your
different?
sleep?
Right.
If I'm gonna kill you, it'll be to your face.
With dignity. Deirdre's like, I don't know. You're not doing a good job.
Well, then if
but
you're
I'm
gonna
trying to support you.
If you're going to make an attempt, why don't you grab a blade right now and we'll see how far that ends.
I never said I was
I
going to make an
believe-
attempt. I said if we are going to fight, we'll be face to face.
It's a long, tense moment. And then suddenly she laughs. I like him! It? I suppose him? Excellent.
You can ask his pronouns too instead of just calling a person an it.
After working so long with Warforged who prefer it as opposed to he, him, or she, it does slip my mind now and again. I'm terribly sorry, sir.
I take no offense.
Any further questions from you? I think I've been satisfied for everything I need to know at the moment. I'm imagining that when we start working together, I'll get a further in-depth report.
I don't think we have further questions.
If that's the case, then I would recommend you go meet with Sept as soon as possible. She's been quite eager for your arrival.
Thank you for the heads up.
You're welcome. Take Butler with you for the time being. I don't need to have no need of his services at the moment. Butler? And the Warforged snaps to attention. All of your directives stay the same, but please follow them and take a level 3 priority for any of their requests. Level 2 if it comes from Valentin. The Warforged does a little salute, tightens his painted-on bow tie, and marches up to you all. It appears as if we will be together for a little bit longer, sirs and or madams.
Excellent.
Butler.
What's the difference between level 1 and level 2 and level 3?
Anything you say prioritizes anything that they say, sir. Chain of command is important in any sort of situation.
Well, whatever they say are on the same level as what I say. So,
Very good, sir. Shall I show you to the Merchant Prince, or would you like to inspect the camp further? I have
Let's
several.
take us to the Merchant Prince.
I have several soldiers and cadets that could use another tent demonstration. If you should like, I will take you to them.
let's go to the Merchant Prince.
All right. A short walk later, and you're at that really nice Pelican. Why does he remind you of Mike the TV from Reboot? 99, 99, 99. You guys head to that big, nice, fancy palanquin that you'd seen before. Around it, there's already been some ornate tents that have been set up. And as you approach, the door opens up, and a massive, bronze-skinned woman of extreme, just kind of stature and stance steps out. On her back is a heavy falchion. She then steps out of the way for a woman who is 5'3" in exquisite silks, with no weapon at all, and is just very, very petite-framed in general, with a cute, pixie-like face. You must be the adventurers I've hired! So great to meet you all, she says, bubbly and excited. My name is Sept, and I will be your employer going forward should you choose to work with me. And as for you, sir, you are the owner of that lovely inn that I can see from here in Nessus, correct?
I am.
I'd like to put an offer on the table for that. Would you like business before pleasure or pleasure before business, sir?
I think I'll have to go with business first.
Business it is. In that case, to start off, before we talk about anything else, I would like to purchase your inn from you for the tune of 20,000 gold pieces. 10 paid immediately. The after 10 paid once I have the deed in hand.
Why?
Because he's done a very good job at making it, and I would like to take it off of his hands. As he's an adventurer, he has no need to keep running an inn. I could purchase it from him, flip it, use it as a headquarters for while I'm here, as well as a place to bring any of the refugees that we catch, store them for a little bit, and then move them on.
Dee Dee kind of tenses up and, like, you can see that her fist is curled and her nails are kind of biting into her palm.
You'll find 20,000.
She's not trying to make it, like, super obvious.
You'll find 20,000 gold to be a very, very fair pay for the assessments that I've gotten out of your inn already.
Forgive my ignorance, but were he to decide to sell, as that is his one claim to land in Thanskoran, would that mean that he loses his privileges?
You've done your 10 years of hard labor, son? She says to you, Lloyd, even though you tower above her.
I have.
Then no, he's still a citizen and he can use that money to start up another business wherever he'd like. And 20,000 gold will get you out very far out in the sticks, but I get the feeling that you intend to carry on with your journeys and travels with the others, correct?
How
Adventurous
much
heart
does
and
it
all of
cost? Deirdre kind of turns to the rest of the party and, under her breath, says, "How much does it cost to support a refugee?"
One refugee, paid at 1 gold a day, which is the average living cost. There are 10 months in a year of 30 days, so it's 300 a year to support a refugee, meaning that it is 300 times 10 for a single refugee to earn citizenship.
3,000.
So it's 3,000 gold for a single refugee to earn citizenship. And that's paid out at the poverty line, basically.
That sucks. I was thinking we could maybe instead try to haggle to get her to support refugees instead for the inn. And then we'd actually take care of one of the issues we're dealing with. Never mind.
We could still do that.
Mm-hmm. You very much could. Just
because she's put up the offer for 20,000 gold in total, it doesn't mean that we can't renegotiate it from being 20,000 gold to instead be...
We also don't necessarily have to sell the inn. We could still negotiate the situation with refugees as an additional army to fight against the Svelish and reclaim their land in the name of, quote, Diane
Wait, we're not fighting against the Svelish. We're fighting against the Underdark creatures.
Oh.
If we go that way.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I don't think we're ever intending to invade Svelland.
No. I was thinking about the mirrored guy.
Yeah,
That's what
but
she's trying to get rid of.
it's we're basically, so that's the gist of all of these problems, right? Their goal is to fight the mirrored man, right? And that means, refugees that they find and apprehend are going to go into indentured servitude. We don't want them to go into indentured servitude. We want to, stop the mirrored man, but that's not what our, the way we want to stop the mirrored man is not by going after the mirrored man and the refugees. We want to first take back Cadron from, the Underdark, so that the refugees have somewhere to go, and then the mirrored man has another bastion that they need to take care of. So we could still, sell the inn for Lloyd, but we do it instead of, instead of him getting 20,000, will have her, quote unquote.
Shouldn't Lloyd get a say in this?
Yes, he should. I'm just pointing out that if the 20,000 is something that is negotiable, then we could
Well,
maybe
we don't even
change
know.
to something
Well,
else.
our services could be a part of the negotiation. We don't have to negotiate away Lloyd's Inn to get this to work. I'm just saying, we need to keep these two issues at the forefront of our conversations with her.
May we go back into in character now, please, guys?
Sure.
You can pull people aside for conversations in a bit. She says, I can see on your face, Mr. Lloyd, that you might want to take some time to think about it, and I'm willing to give you that time, at 1,000 gold per day off of my original offer for every day it takes you to think of an answer to me. Sound fair?
Sure.
Excellent. For now, then, on to our other source of business, ridding the desert of the filth that has been kidnapping and killing all of my villagers. Nessus isn't the only outpost around here, you see, and several other places have been hit under the guise of the unfortunate Cadron refugees. Up until now, my forces, my men, and my family, as well as all of my business partners, believed in perpetuity. It was the refugees. Your report has said that it wasn't, and now I have a name. A name that I want scoured off the very face of this fucking earth. I want it torn asunder. I don't want any historical records left behind of this scumbag and whatever agenda he is using my labor force to accomplish.
It's not just yours. He's also taking advantage of the refugees, which you don't seem to care about and had blamed to be the cause of this problem before our report. But
Yes.
they're just as much of a victim as your people.
Yes, and? If they're a victim,
They
it's because they
also
choose to be.
will be considered if you decide to have us be a part of these conversations.
You would be coming as my official advisors in capacity, so yes, if you tell me to consider them, I will definitely take into consideration, but in the end I will make whatever decision is best for my bottom line.
What is your bottom line?
That I want this fucker gone.
And how do you expect to accomplish that?
She gestures at the 500 mercenaries around her. I think this is a good start.
Okay, how do you plan on finding him?
I think you're a good start to that. You found him once, didn't you?
That was by pure luck.
I wouldn't call it luck. From my understanding from the report from Phazon and from my own agents in the area, he attempted to mislead you. And you didn't buy it. Meanwhile, every other single time I've tried to track down what's been going on in this desert, we've fallen for his tricks hook, line, and sinker, time and time again. So far, you're the only ones to have figured out that they are not in fact refugees. Something myself and my brethren at the upper echelons of Thanskaran society were unaware of. As such, even if you don't believe in yourselves, don't worry, I believe in you, and the copious amount of coin that will be backing your efforts.
I can tell you one thing that you and your agents have done wrong to begin with.
Please do! I had wanted to ask for your advice. You got my gift, correct?
Yes.
Please, advise me, she says as she sits down in a comfortable chair outside her pelican.
To begin with, you've played into his hand from the very beginning. All of these things that he's been doing, it's obvious that he's been in control of where he wants you to go look, what he wants you to find, what sort of evidence you want to find. That's what he puts there. So you keep on stepping right into the trap and being led by a leash.
Oh, you're not wrong, and this is why I am so glad that we finally have a direction to move in.
But you don't have a direction to move in.
She raises an eyebrow.
Tell me, what do you think the direction is?
Well, for now, we were going to go to where you fought him last, check out the area and see if we can't pick up any tracks or trails, and then I believe that we were going to look for you for advice on where to move before or after. Alternatively...
Any of those tracks or trails would be over 3 months old at this point. They'd be useless to you.
Which is why the secondary thing that we're going to do is sweep the desert and round up any single person without citizenship we find.
Comb the desert.
With 500 men across this entire desert.
To start, once we have a few refugees in custody, the other merchant princes will start hiring folks of their own. That's without you. And I'd rather do things with you than without you.
Right.
I feel we'll be more focused together.
You are again falling straight into his trap. That he wants you to keep on chasing him.
So you say that I should just sit back and let him do whatever he wants in the desert without pursuing him?
No.
Then what would you advise?
I'm talking about getting rid of a symptom instead of getting rid of the cause.
He is...
I'm listening.
It's like
attacking.
treating a rash instead of dealing with the thing that causes the rash.
He is attacking and abducting and absconding with not just other villagers and other refugees. Wait, what the fuck did I just say?
You're talking about who he's leaving with or who he's trying to steal
He's
and take.
so far... Wait, what the fuck was my fucking point?
The fact that he's taking lots of different kinds of people.
Yeah, that
He's
he's
not
not.
just taking
That he's not
refugees.
just taking the villagers, but he like basically, if we get rid of the refugees, if we deal
Right,
with the issue of
okay.
refugees coming into the country, it'll weaken him.
At the moment, he's not just taking villagers and other people from Fanskaran, he's also taking refugees. Refugees that were expelled from their homeland. And he'll keep on taking all of these people to build an army. Not even for himself, but for someone else. So...
No, go ahead, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, could I, because this is something that we didn't talk about before, is there a check I could check or make to see if us getting rid of the refugees coming into the country would severely weaken the efforts of the Mirror Man as far as our knowledge goes? Could I make like an insight into that?
I will let you know right now, there are no new refugees coming into Thanskaran. Kadrin hasn't had anyone come in or out of it for quite some time.
Yeah,
Essentially,
yeah,
I mean,
think
it's
we
like
lost-
if we lost the plot a little bit here. I'm trying to determine like if we got the refugees going back into Kadrin, like if we round up all the refugees we can, we retake Kadrin, would that weaken the Mirror Man's efforts? Because I feel like we're trying to we're making the argument right now that these things will stop the Mirror Man, which is not what we wanted to argue. We wanted to argue that
we're trying to give the refugees some kind of a safe haven amidst all of this, and by preventing them from being in a vulnerable position that the Mirror Man can use to his advantage, it would prevent the Mirror Man from being able to basically build this army, because we're taking away the source of the army by like keeping them in a guarded or safe space.
Roll me
Because
an
right
insight.
now they're not, and they're treated like dirt.
Roll me an insight.
Do we want to do an assistant?
Who?
Do you want to give me advantage on this?
Whoever.
Or should I give you? I've got a +3. What do you have?
You might. I've got a +6.
Then I'll give you assistance.
Okay.
So you roll with advantage, yeah.
Yep.
One thing you guys never actually talked about in character, until now, is what you actually suspected the Mirror Man's end goals were. And now that you're talking it out loud, Dee Dee, you have a sudden realization. There are people worldwide that would be easy to exploit. If you took the refugees out of Kadrin and the Mirror Man wanted to build an army, what's to stop him from dealing with the recently, war-torn Ajin Shu and just picking out weak people from that? What's to stop him from trying to do the same thing with the homeless in Thascalus? There are so many things. So you come to an understanding, suddenly, about the Mirror Man. It's not that he needs the Kadrin refugees to build an army. It's the reason why he's been disguising them in the first place. For whatever reason, the goal is to use them as a scapegoat. She's not playing into his hands by chasing the Mirror Man. She's playing into his hands by continuing to perpetuate that the refugees are the problem. Even though it's advantageous for her. You still don't know what his end goal is or what he could possibly get from doing that, but it makes no sense to target the refugees and also then to disguise as the refugees. Mm-hmm. It's a false flag operation. Waka now says, "Oh my god, the Mirror Man is trying to start World War II." In chat, by the way.
Yeah, he's faking us out. He's trying to get you to go chasing after this specific group of people. Why is he only targeting refugees? Why, there are several other groups that he could try to exploit, and yet he is going specifically after this group. And you are playing into it and perpetuating this idea that the refugees are the problem. Why? It doesn't make any sense for him to be saying that they're the issue, but then posing as them and then also stealing them and taking them. Why the refugees? There's got to be some kind of rhyme or reason behind these actions.
The refugees hold no political power. They're the perfect scapegoats for us to use. No one's going to care. It's not like if I blame the refugees, an army's going to come marching against us. However, if I were to blame the Svelish, an army would come after us. The Svelish tribes are independent but interwoven at the same time.
But if you force the refugees against the wall, what's to stop them from fighting back?
Which is, this is the point I'm trying to make. If we remove the scapegoat, you will force the Mirror Man to act.
And he'll come to us.
So our plan is to make the refugees not be refugees anymore.
Where do you expect we house them? On houses that grow from trees?
No, houses that exist in mountains.
She coughs a few times. You want us to send them back to Kadrin? Are you intending on watching them all die?
No.
We want to win over Kadrin.
We want to take
Kadrin back.
Kadrin
A dangerous
back.
place for them to be.
Have you ever thought about being the ruler of a vassal state? One filled with riches.
And people very grateful that you got the country back for them.
Instead of a conqueror, I'd walk in a heroine.
That's correct.
An undertaking like that, though.
And the very people that the Mirror Man is attempting to turn into scapegoats, then your allies. Turn them quite literally opposite of the way he's trying to make them look. Not only do you weaken his efforts, but quite literally turn them against him.
For an introduction, this is turning out to be quite profitable and insightful. I don't have the men, however. Kadrin is overswarmed. Its military doubled the numbers of what I have here, and they still fell to the Underdark.
Well, what if the very people that are trying to get their land back help us to do so? We solve two birds with one stone. The Mirrored Man doesn't have an army, and we can fight to keep it that way.
And above everything else, it's not something that he'll ever expect. Then he'll have to play into our hand instead.
But I can't spare all of the forces that you see here either. The Mirror Man continues to attack mine and the other merchant princes' homesteads. And it's only a matter of time that until the guise of us blaming the Svelish all falls apart. Of us blaming, the refugees instead of the Svelish all falls apart, and then we're at war with Sveland. I have to leave a force behind to continue combating the Mirrored Man. How many men do you think you'd need to accomplish this?
Oh, shit.
Is there some sort of check that I could I make an insight
What about
into
survival? Yeah, insight or survival or something.
Insight, survival, or history for tactics, because now we're talking about a military campaign.
Yeah, can I once again aid Undyne? Or aid DD?
Yeah,
Okay.
you two can work in tandem.
Uh,
DD,
19.
DD, if you were to do a conventional war, smashed. Not a chance in hell. But you don't need a conventional war.
Guerrilla warfare.
You don't even need guerrilla warfare. You need to cut something that can't be cut. You just need to prove the Underdark can be bled, that there is something worth fighting for, that there is something worth pushing back. Finding any survivors in Kadron and escorting even 2 people out of it would be enough that the world community might start going, oh shit, Kadron might actually still be alive. Valentin has been told that there is a great hero somewhere there who should still be alive. Finding this mountain breaker, who is captain of the Royal Guards and one of the greatest heroes they ever had, would be amazing. Finding any of the Lava Walkers, which is a very, very famous dwarven adventuring party that was lost a few months before the fall of Kadron. Finding any hope at all and bringing it out of that country would mean that you could convince other merchant princes to then do a full-scale assault. For the purpose of liberating it. Not even for the purpose of conquering it or making it a vassal state. If there is people still alive there, they'd want it to be a good trading partner again.
If we were to do this kind of a search and rescue mission, what do I think would be an appropriate number of people to accompany us, just so we have a little bit of extra beef under our belt? Because this seems more like a search and rescue kind of thing that's going to be more stealthy and on the down low, and we don't really need a large group of people, but I don't want to go in and just get absolutely smashed.
You could probably do it with a single battalion or squadron from the Living Immortals, and then a group of the refugees.
1 battalion. 1 squad or battalion would be all we need, because we don't need to start a fire, we just need to light the match. We find a few survivors, if there are any. Maybe we can convince the entire Council of Merchant Princes that Kadron is worth fighting for.
There also might be a very high value target. Someone that we might really want to rescue in there.
A hero. Who you'd be a hero for finding.
Thank you, Waka. She leans back for a moment. 10 of my finest men. You'll take...
What is that compared to what I...
It's about less than you had hoped, but decent enough that
Still
you can
better
make
than
work.
nothing.
Yeah.
And then perhaps we could supplement that with refugees.
Yep.
That we
Well, no,
train
we will
it
be.
up.
Wait, River, didn't you say
That
a
was the plan
battalion?
regardless.
Battalion or squad is what you could do it with, not what she was willing to offer.
A battalion's 1,000 men.
Is it actually?
Yes.
Oh.
What do you think it was?
I didn't mean a
Sometimes
battalion
River
then.
is stupid, but sometimes he's not. And that is my song.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's
I was
a
gonna
himbo.
say,
We
I
love
was
him
like,
for
wait,
it,
It
so-
would be a squad or a platoon, I think, is what
Thank
you're
you.
thinking.
Squad or a platoon. That'll work.
A squad or a battalion, somewhere between 10 to
Alright.
1,000.
She's offering
That'd
you
be great.
her 10 finest men in the Living Immortals. That will include 2 Warforged, Butler, and another one.
But Butler's not even combat. It's not a combat Warforged.
And? You don't think he'll be useful for mapping, planning, and more? If you'd like, you don't need to take Butler.
The utility is
Nope,
actually
Zandra,
very useful.
Butler will be coming with us. Thank you.
Butler,
Right.
a second Warforged by the delightful name of Meat Brick. As well as 8 hand-picked from Commander Jacqueline Highwind herself. That's what I can offer.
All that we ask you is any and all refugees that you do find.
Yes, bleeding
desert.
hearts. Bleeding hearts. We'll focus only on defense rather than sweeping the desert.
Well, I was going to tell you to direct them our way towards Cadron. Be
Very
ready
well.
to receive any and all, survivors that we bring back.
I don't think you want me doing that, and I'm going to explain to you why. Your bleeding heart is very, very sweet, but your optimism and your naivety is going to get a lot of people killed. If we find any refugees, and we send them your way, how are we supposed to know if that's not the enemy disguised? Meaning that we could let the enemy become very aware of your plan. We could be sending lambs to the slaughter. No, we'll continue to round them up for the time being. Not out of any desire of hatred or scapegoat or blame, but simply for everyone's own protection. They'll be safer in the middle of my host than they will be out in the desert. And you seem to have a lot of care for them. We can call it insurance. In case you don't come back.
As long as you feed them.
They will be fed, they will be taken care of, and I will eat all of the costs of that as a pleasure of doing business with you. However, in this contract that I am stating with you, and this is verbal, so if you agree to these terms. From the spirit of the word, not the letter of the law. Am I clear?
I understand.
Good. In that case, any land that you traverse, I want mapped. That land, I want your official support that I have legally laid claim to.
What will you do with it once you've claimed it?
It depends on what's on the land.
Also, does that mean you're going to be sending a cartographer with us? It's because I don't believe any of us have those particular set of skills.
You can learn. Or Butler will handle the mapping for you, probably. Is more likely. What I do with the land isn't any of your business. And it will be mapped regardless. Butler will be making sure that you follow that directive.
Does this include land that lies within the bounds of what was Cadron?
Yes.
And let's say everything goes swimmingly, better than we expect. Somehow, we find survivors, and then a full-scale invasion happens of Cadron, and it is reclaimed. Does that all of Cadron then become yours?
No.
Or is...
That would be up to the merchant princes and I to decide, but it does mean that I have legal first right dibs, if you were, on all the lands that you staked out for me. In addition, in order to avoid any certain legalities, your mission will not be referred to as an assault, an attack, or even a search and rescue. You are surveying land, and you are land surveyors that I have hired.
If you've hired us, then how much are you paying us?
This is the part I love the most. Well, you're the freelancers. How much are your services worth?
I'd like to make a check to see what would in a non so how much would surveyors get paid normally for non-dangerous surveying work, and then like how much would it cost if it was dangerous work, like
Sure, go
surveying enemy territory?
A history.
Does somebody else want to make this check for me?
Well, you guys are deciding I need to freshen up my water. I've been talking for quite some time now in several different voices.
We'll take the vassal state. I'm joking. Let's see. Who's got good history? Valentin?
Lenton or Lloyd.
Lloyd?
The rest of us are dumb.
You guys want to help out here? I'm kind of stupid.
Well, I think Lloyd would have a better understanding of what surveyors are.
Come on, Lloyd. Maybe you'll actually get a good roll for once.
Okay.
So
A good
I will
intelligence roll.
I will assist
people
you
assisting?
in that. I'm assisting you in that. Because I'm the
Wanna
one
see me
who's
get double nat
I'm the one who's making the question here. So I'm gonna be the one that's like bringing up the topic, and you're gonna just provide me with the info, sort of thing.
Time
Assist.
for double nat ones. Let's go.
Woo woo!
Take it.
I mean, you're just trying to go for a number. It's not like you're deep diving into the history of a continent or something. Maybe.
Hopefully.
Meow. Oh my god, kitty. So first off, land surveying is not what you should be charging her on. You should be charging her on as if you are doing an assault and attack in a mercenary company. Land surveying is like fucking 3 gold a day.
Yeah, that's what okay, that makes sense.
If you wanted to charge a mercenary rate, you should think of a large sum up front, several thousand gold, and spoils of war. What percentage of loot are you taking? That does mean that you are pillaging, though, as a note, if you find houses and the like, to be able to get that. Or you're just taking it off the dead things that you encounter, including if that's Underdark stuff. In this kind of a case, with what you're doing, you could almost certainly get 100% on the spoils of war from her.
I'd say spoils of war.
Spoils of war, and then you'll want a flat sum of anywhere between 1,000 and 10,000 gold, with 10,000 being on the ridiculous, why would you ask for this end?
There's 6 of us. How about 6,000?
Do I have to
1,000 gold
cover?
apiece.
Do I have to
and
cover
then-
any of your supplies?
Food and water for the time.
3,000 then in that case. I'm already supplying you with manpower, and if I'm covering food and water to enough to make this excursion, I'll need to also send you along with beasts of burden and carts. But I can agree to 6,000 without covering your supplies.
River, can I guess make another check on to determine how much would it actually cost us to do all the food and everything ourselves?
How long does it take? Because with axe beaks, it would take us 3 weeks to get there.
And then you're talking about going into the Underdark.
Yeah. So that's with axe beaks. If we're moving on foot, that's like twice the amount.
Yep. You guys have generally good
This is like
survival
a 3
rules.
month. This is 3 months just for us to get in, and then basically 3 months out.
You don't know how long you're going to be in the Underdark. You could be in there for like a year. The Underdark is massive. This isn't you going to the local mall.
Fair enough.
You're basically
Right.
going to a different plane of existence.
We're also not going to be packing in a year's worth of food.
Yeah.
So we would have to go in with supplies to, like, acquire our own food.
Basically, yeah.
Would probably be the smarter way to go.
Meaning that if she's paying for your supplies and stuff, then that means she's sending you with chickens and pigs and stuff that you can, like a supply train that you can breed animals in the Underdark to survive in an extended long period, and people to handle them.
That seems like...
It's what you used to do on long sailing voyages, and that's what you should expect going down here.
Right, but we're also trying to do so, like, a bit more covertly, I suppose. So bringing in a whole supply train with us might be a difficult...
How covertly can we be with 40, 50 people?
You could just take less and leave the refugees down at base camp.
True.
Your main goal, it sounds like, is to get in, find this mountain breaker guy, and get out.
Yeah.
Which is going to take several months of travel and fighting throughout the Underdark, as you knew that he was in the Royal Guard, and the capital was right in the smack dab middle of the mountains.
Yep.
So you're going to be in there for quite some time. Again, you don't need to worry about time gated, and the force that Sept is leaving outside of the mountains, the rest of the living immortals, are going to be able to protect the citizenry pretty well from the Mirror Man for the time being, as you know the Mirror Man doesn't normally, from what you've seen, do full frontal assaults, right?
Yeah.
So you should be okay to run this campaign of going in there on like a several month long mission looking for this mountain breaker guy. But it's going to be difficult. It's going to be linear, and I will, as the DM, let you know, it's going to be 90% combat as opposed to roleplay. It's not like there's a lot of cities in Cadron left anymore.
Yeah.
That still sounds super cool, though.
It sounds
Like, I'm
super
kinda
cool,
really into
and
this.
I'm not gonna lie, I love combat, so I'm down either way. I love roleplay, I love combat. We've done a lot of roleplay, let's do a lot of combat.
It will be, and I know Valentin doesn't like dungeons, it will be the equivalent of a mega dungeon.
I love mega dungeons.
I love mega dungeons!
You guys are all psychopaths.
I'm a blood... Look, I'm like... Let's... the only reason why Zandra's capable of containing her emotions right now is the bloodthirstiness in her head is more like excited for the idea of months and months of just combat and that than she is slaughtering the attempting to kill the merchant prince in front of her right now, who's an ultimate form of authority.
And a dick one too. You really don't like her ideals. You don't vibe with capitalism.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's literally like, we either do this or Zandra is like on the verge of just attacking her.
But yeah, it's quite the endeavor, and saving Cadron would really change the whole history of the world.
Can you imagine if we're the party that saves...
Like,
that's what we're
Can you
all
imagine
here
if
for.
we're the party that dies in the Underdark on our
That's true!
I want to do it, though.
That would be
Though
awesome.
it would be
Don't get
funny
twisted,
if we
this
were
sounds
the
fucking
party that
awesome.
saved Cadron when the party that's in Cadron is kind of leaving right now.
They're
I don't know anything
leaving.
about a party.
Well, they're in the
Cadron.
Underdark.
Yeah,
I don't know
they're
anything about a party in
We don't know
Cadron.
any... I don't know anything about a party in Cadron.
I don't know why you keep mentioning this other party, Sly. It doesn't exist to me.
It's part of our slime hive mind. I'm sorry.
The Last Stand group is the other.
I don't know
sister
about a
campaign.
Last Stand group. The Last Stand group doesn't exist to me.
For my viewers who haven't seen it, on Saturdays for Chisana, I actually run a sister campaign to this one that goes over what's happening in Cadron right now. They already know about this guy Mountain Breaker that the Blood on the Sand group is looking for, but they are like the same party, same timeline, same world, and it's really, really interesting that the party, out of all the plot hooks I've given them, is like, why don't we go save Cadron now? I thought for sure you were gonna do Rabios, I'm not gonna lie.
I want to do Rabios. Just a little bit of insight into like
Zondra wants to do Rabios, but she feels like she doesn't like she would need an insane amount of power and military might to like overthrow Rabios government and everything like that. And this is a great way to get a lot of clout or a lot of like sway. And if we are successful in dealing with Kadrin, perhaps she can turn the sights of the military that they'll be leading on Rabios after.
If you link up with the Last Stand party, this campaign and this going into Kadrin will take you from levels 5 to 20.
Amazing.
That'd be awesome. Wait, you mean isn't like immediately?
No. Not the jump.
Like,
No.
I meet up with the Last Stand, it's like, you're level 20 now. I'm like, what?
The next 15 levels will be going through Underdark with helping out with Kadrin stuff. Occasionally, if you're able to, leaving it, but I have been pretty clear, it's been kind of a once you go in, people aren't coming out kind of a deal, as a warning. So
that means once we hit level 20 and we finish up there, we can go to Ravios' level 20s and basically annihilate the country.
Yeah. See, I think Zondra's decided that she's looking at the bigger picture for Rabios. And she doesn't, I personally, even with meta knowledge, don't see a way of her making a change in Rabios with the power she has now. And so this is her attempting to find a way to gain that strength and power and military might behind her actions.
All right. There's no persuasion check needed. You guys have made excellent points throughout it. Sept is sold on the idea. You can either get 6,000 up front or 3,000 and get a supply train from her.
I think 6,000 up front, and then we can just get our own resources.
Don't
think
forget.
So? I think it's easier the other way around.
I do think it's the other way around as well.
Well, like you said, we're not going to be like, it's hard getting out of there. So a supply train would only work up to like the border of the country.
So here's my counterpoint though, Sly. What are 6,000 gold going to help us once we're inside of Kadrin?
We buy some bags of holding and load them with food.
Where are you going to find bags of holding?
Fuck if I know.
I was gonna say, the issue isn't that we can't come up with ways to do things ourselves. The issue is like the time and materials of gathering all that stuff. The merchant prince is gonna have all of this stuff already. She knows how to get it. She knows how to get it to us. She's got access to everything. Whereas we'll have to search out people to buy it from. We'll have to
Does
search out
she have the ability to get it to us in Kadrin River?
Yes,
No.
I plan on sending you with all the supplies that you need to make yourself self-sufficient, as if I was planning for a long seafaring voyage.
Oh, that makes it even easier. I was gonna say, like, she'll set us up to get in there on our own. But if she can send us the materials we need to succeed while we're in there, then yeah. That's even better.
Chickens.
Like, the last thing I want to worry about is the fact that we get in, like, 8 months, and then we run out of food and starve to death.
Have you guys seen Atlantis?
Well, I mean, I'll just eat you
I
guys.
love Atlantis.
That's what she'll be sending you with.
Oh, amazing.
So you guys will be as if you're the main characters in Atlantis, and she'll send you with all of that background shit that they got.
Does she send the hot dummy mommy that turns good in the end? And
I like how
She
none of
said
you
that's-
reacted to me saying I was just going to
Spoilers.
eat you.
We should
We need
also
to wrap up.
probably be. Yeah, we need to wrap up.
So
And there's a lot of planning that we can do, but we kind of know what the next sort of trajectory
yeah,
that will be going on is to a certain degree.
I
And we
think
can plan about it over the Discord.
yes, because we
Next
will
week's.
be taking a 2-week hiatus going forward, guys, from this campaign as scheduling is coming up, and we have a really cool announcement that I wanted to get into before we do any more games. So we will be taking a 2-week hiatus from this, which will also, now that I know that you're headed towards them, give the Last Stand group time to get further ahead in their own plot lines before you guys crash in like, hey, what's up? Because
Hey, what's up, guys?
now I need to start writing
Your
a
campaign
whole
is
new
ours
series.
now.
Hey, bitches, this is our campaign now.
Going
And we
forward-
know the rules.
Going forwards, when we return, this campaign will be known as Blood on the Mountain.
Oh,
What?
That's the
Pretty
same.
cool.
that does not have the same catch.
Someone's
doesn't
like,
sound as
oh,
catchy.
that's pretty cool. The rest of you are like, ooh, gross.
I was gonna say Blood on the Stones.
You
Oh,
know, I
Blood on
thought
the
that name
Stone,
sounded
that's way
familiar.
better.
That's a movie.
Blood on the
It
Mountain's
is?
a movie?
Blood-
Then Blood on the
We're not a
Stones it
movie.
is, because that's better. Because it just takes sands and turns it into stones. It's the same. It's the same.
Regardless-
I like Blood on
it's
the
same
Stones.
letter.
Blood on the Stones it is. Regardless, we're approaching at 30 minutes past our normal end time, so we've gone a little bit later than normal. We started way earlier than normal. Guys, thank you so much for coming out. And chat, can we get a round of applause for our lovely players of Blood on the Sand, which you can all follow here and check them out. Thank you guys so much. If you liked tonight, I'm going to need to hire a map maker now to design a mega dungeon with me. So, consider supporting directly to me. We're also taking investors in my agency of Hero Factory for a little while longer. So you can hit me up. I actually have a few map makers I like working with, but if you're good at map making, Waka, you can submit some ideas or general stuff. I'm probably gonna need a lot of people. This might be a big collaborative effort that I contact some of my map maker friends and I commission them, and then I ask them if they'll give me a deal if I let them sell it. Meaning that this might be a module that I actually consider writing and then selling. So we'll see. Oh. Hello, 8-Bit. Meow. So yeah.
I mean, Waka did say that they could draw lines.
Yes. But thank you guys so much for coming tonight, my lovely players. We will see you next time, 2 weeks from now, for Blood on the Sand. If you wanted to keep up with everything that's happening in the world of Hysalia during this hiatus, make sure to check us out on Saturdays with the Chisana D&D game, with what's going on right now in Cadron. For instance, these party members and these characters don't know it, but someone of the royal family may have survived.
By the way, it's not 2 weeks from now, it's 3 weeks from now. There's 2 weeks we're missing.
3 weeks from now. Yes. Haha. Ho ho. Hee hee. All right.
Aha!
I have a new PC coming in, so you should expect me to start streaming more crazy stuff coming up. Also, there's a new update for Wandering Village, which I've streamed a lot on my streams. It's one of my favorite city builders. And once again, the publishers have given me a few codes to give away to my audience for free copies of the game because they love you guys so fucking much. They love all the stuff
Which game
that we've
was this
done.
one?
The Wandering Village.
Wandering Village?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, I've done a few giveaways for them because the developers keep giving me
I've wanted
keys.
to try that game quite a lot.
It's quite good, yeah.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Good night, Valentin.
Night!
Yes.
Good night!
Good
Good night, EP friends!
Good night, EPs.
Good night, EPs!
The best place that you can find me is also on my Discord. That's all the Hero Factory updates for when I'm running games, for when I'm playing stuff with people, for when I have open spots available in some of my games, which I do right now. So feel free to shoot me a message if you want to invest or play in any of my games. Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh no! No, Iris!
Uh,
Iris, we're ending!
It's just it'll be a double raid.
Oh
Double
God!
raid!
Iris, please!
Hi, Iris.
Iris, I love you so much.
Hi,
Oh.
Iris! Hey! Hey,
Let me know-
cutie!
Don't forget, guys, follow Iris as well. She's absolutely amazing. She's
Yes.
super great. Thank you for the shout out for doing that. One of my mods, I think that was Chris. Thank you so much. Hi, Iris. I'm ending for the night, but I will be maybe streaming tomorrow. Definitely streaming on Friday. This goober doesn't have a raid message, but what a... Right, Jack, at ya! Hi, it's you again! Jack, I created a whole mercenary company where everyone's first name who were the commanders in it were Jack. Versions of it. Jackson, Jacqueline, Jackery, Jack, all sorts of Jack. It was great. Yeah!
Boy.
You don't know, Jack.
Anyways, sorry, one more time, guys. If you liked what you saw tonight and you want to support, as you know now, for this campaign, I need to create a mega dungeon of them going through Cadron. If you want to support and help out, so this way I can afford fancier maps and maybe even a custom soundtrack. I'm really thinking about going wild with this thing, because this is a really
That would be
cool
sick.
idea.
That would be so sick.
Consider supporting directly on my Ko-Fi, and if you wanted to invest in my company, you can shoot me a message on Discord. We do really, really nice ROIs. We are closing the possibility to invest at the end of this month. All right, that's it. We're gonna raid someone. I'm Iris. I'm so sorry. I love you very much. Thank you so much for the raid. Bye for now, guys. See you very soon.
Bye.
Bye.